May be able to see that on the screen at home. She's danced all around that thing. Epps is the right fielder. That ball up, ball 4. So Marion's got 2 on, 2 in. And pitch and change will be made right off the bat as Tori Howard will come in for Greenwood. So Tori, the freshman right-hander, will step in, replace Haven, who issued 3 walks to begin. Actually, 2 walks. 2 walks, a single.
20 for number 1. 20 for number 1.
So Haven will still bat. Tori Howard will go in for the flex. Beautiful day up here, Mountain Home. 72 degrees. This is a picture-perfect Chamber of Commerce kind of day. 3 in the afternoon, and Greenwood on the wrong end of the scoreboard to start. 2-0 our score. Marion with 2 on, and this is the start that Marion would want. Try to get on the board early. Tori Howard, the freshman right-hander, steps into the circle for Greenwood and will try to limit the damage and keep it here. Howard kicks and fires. That ball hit right back towards the short. Saki gets the double play, and that'll end the inning. Sorry we couldn't get you to that picture quick enough, but it was a double play, trust me. Saki's able to turn the double play. And that will end the first inning, or top of the first anyway. So we'll go to the bottom of the first, and Greenwood trailing in this one 2-0. We'll see the left-hander from Marion, which is Anna Murphy. Murphy saw her pitch a little bit yesterday. They run-ruled Sylvan Hills in their contest right after Greenwood played. And Greenwood had a little battle with Lake Hamilton. Won that game 3-0. And so now we have Ali Saki at the plate. Chelsea Passage, I'm sorry. Chelsea will be the first one to bat for the Greenwood Lady Bulldogs. So Passage, the second baseman, will dig in from the right side. She'll face Anna Murphy, the pitcher from Marion. First pitch is a ball outside, and if I'm a coach, I just tell the girls to work the zone and see what happens. Haven threw a lot of pitches in that first inning. A double play got Greenwood out of more damage. It's 2-0, and Passage smokes one, but right to the shortstop. She knocks it down and fires across to get Passage by a step. So Passage tattooed it, but it was right to the shortstop, and that'll bring Ali Saki to the plate. Saki, the shortstop, ended the top of the first with a double play, unassisted double play. She stepped over on the bag, threw the first time to get Bailey. This is Saki's first plate appearance of this one. That's a ball outside for ball 1. Apologize if there's been technical difficulties. We're trying to work through a multitude of issues here, but I'm a one-man band. University of Arkansas digs in and faces the left-hander. Saki rips that one down in the bullpen. That'll be strike 2. She's just a little ahead of that one. Saw that yesterday. She ripped one out of the yard, but it was foul. Just got ahead of it. So 15, you just got to find a way to get on here. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Marion leads 2-0. That ball's up. Saki thought about it. Held her hands back, and her dad said, "Atta girl." So 2-2 count here. Allie Saki swings and fouls it right back at me. Staying alive. We saw this in Alma. She had an at-bat where she fouled off about 8 pitches. And I kidded with her after the game. She about hit 3 kids over at the baseball field that were Little League fields right behind the softball field. She finally got on with a double down the line. See if that repeats itself here. Stays back. It's down the line. Saki out of the box quickly. They're going to say she's out at first. A bang-bang play. I wish I could have gotten over there to it so you could have seen it, but Saki was saying it was she was safe. Of course, I would expect nothing less. Now that brings to the plate Maddie Cartwright, the junior sophomore third baseman, I'm sorry. Cartwright will get to the front of the box. Digs in. Watches that first one for strike 1. So Greenwood has hit the ball hard here in the first, just right at the third baseman and shortstop. And bang bang plays at first, and Greenwood's been retired. So here's Cartwright, and no 1 hole here. That ball change up there, and good job by Cartwright to lay off of it for 1-1. Murphy, the left-hander, swings the right arm through, and Cartwright hits it to shortstop. We saw her beat that out yesterday, and she'll do so here. She gets on because the first baseman couldn't dig it out. So that's going to be an E6. But Cartwright gets on via the air, and that'll bring Natalie Thomas to the plate. So Thomas is on. Greenwood's got their first base runner. And Natalie Thomas, the senior first baseman, will step to the plate. She watches the first pitch. Cartwright steals second. And they're calling her out as she slid past the bag. Saying she slid past. She slid past, slid off the bag. And when you're sliding on the turf, that causes some problems because it's a little different than sliding on the natural grass. Or natural dirt, I'm sorry. So that'll end the inning for Greenwood, and Marion avoids damage as Cartwright is caught stealing, and Thomas will bat when she comes back up in the bottom of the second. So Greenwood not able to dent the scoreboard, aggressive on the base pass, and Cartwright had the bag stolen. She just slid up past and over the bag. It's just unique. You got to get used to sliding on the turf. And I saw the game prior to this one. The girls were doing hook slides and basically using their arm to catch the bag as they slid through. Cartwright not able to do that there. They push her off the bag, and she's retired on the caught stealing. This Marion team is 22-9 coming into the ball game, so it's not going to be a cakewalk for either one of these two teams. And Marion has intentions of trying to get to the semifinal Saturday. But they don't play just one inning. Greenwood's got to keep battling defensively, get back in there offensively. And leading off for Marion will be Marquecho, and she'll take ball 1. So Tori Howard in the circle in relief of Haven Clements. Gave up 2 runs in the first inning. That ball up for ball 2. So trying to locate the zone. Tori Howard, the freshman hurdler, came in and got an ending double play. That ball's in there for strike 1, inside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Tim commented yesterday he likes the swagger of this Howard girl. She's all business out there in the circle. Kicks and fires, blows that one past Marquecho there for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Back-to-back strikes there from Tori Howard. We'll see what freshman has here. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. So good job there from Tori Howard to get Marquecho her first strikeout of the game. And that'll bring J.C. Holder, the catcher, to the plate. Holder will bat from the right side. Tori Howard has retired the 2 batters she's faced so far.
Brings up the center fielder, number 2, Macy Cutsinger.
Still not live? Okay, thank you. Well, we missed a lot. We had some issues, but I think we've got it. We're at first and third. Greenwood with 2 infield singles. Natalie Thomas singles to short, beats that throw out, and then Charlie Taylor just tried to advance her over and beat the throw out to first. The throw got away from first. Thomas is now on third. We got runners at the corners, nobody out. And they said that's a strike 1. As they throw it down to third, trying to get Thomas. Oh, we call it a ball. So a lot of action. We missed a little bit of that as the stream went down, but hopefully we're back and going. And Sean's working remotely, trying to keep me guided on what's going on here. Greenwood with a real scoring opportunity here in the bottom of the second. Marion got 2 in the top of the first. And now Macy Cutsinger, this junior center fielder, swings and finds a gap right between first and second. That'll drive home a run. Charlie Taylor advances to second. So a good piece of hitting there from Macy Cutsinger, and I talked to Coach Saki about that yesterday in Macy Cutsinger's approach at the plate. She's been going to that right side and done so well. So Greenwood into the scoreboard, 2-1 now here, and Claire Chappell at the plate. Chappell squares, she bunts, drops it down perfectly, a throw over to first, and that's another error. That'll score at least 1 as Charlie Taylor's in. Macy Cutsinger will get over to third base. So now all of a sudden, Greenwood back in this one. They've evened the score at 2-2. That'll bring Haven Clemens to the plate, and Marion has thrown it around here. It's Cutsinger, she's over at third. Claire Chappell's at first. The bunt error. And I'm out retired here in the bottom of the second. We're even on the scoreboards. Greenwood's drawn back to 2-2. And a meeting at the mound. Marion trying to control things. Greenwood has played a little small ball, bunt and move people over and force the defense to play. And Macy Cutsinger had a great at-bat where she hit it between first and second, and Charlie Taylor avoided being hit by the ball. She later came around and scored. Nobody out, runners at the corners. And Haven Clements, who started in the circle, is at the plate. She turns, fakes the bunt, and Chappell will steal second. So they were seeing what in the world Marion would do, and now 2 in scoring position. I've got it 3-2. I'll fix that. It's 2-2. Ball 1 to Haven Clements. So Greenwood's got a lot of action here in the bottom of the second inning, coming from the lineup. Appreciate everybody tuned in. Hopefully we got the bugs worked out. Haven squares around a bunt, but it goes foul. Strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. The winner of this game will play the winner of Beebe and Mountain Home at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. Greenwood got ducks on the pond here for Haven Clements. The senior started in the circle. She may be reinserted later. We'll see. Swing and bunt that time. And that ball is foul for strike 2. So now you see what kind of situation Saki believes in here. Does he stay with the bunt here, try to keep it fair? And you look at Claire Chappell, she was over at third. Macy Cutzinger hadn't left the bag yet. So you don't want to run into an out at third. See what happens here with Haven. She'll swing away or she squares the bunt again. I'm going to say that ball is outside, and that's a tough take. But a good job from Haven there. Maybe because she started in the circle and didn't get that call in the first inning. 2-2 the count. 2 on, no outs. Guess Greenwood does have 3 runs in. No, they just have 2. Cutzinger will come to play at the plate. The ball's knocked free, and Cutzinger will score. So that is correct. Haven advances over to second base, so the errors continue. And Cutzinger is able to jar the ball free as she slides home. So Clements is over to second. Chappell gets into third. And Greenwood takes the lead, their first of the ball game. So Greenwood hasn't hit but 1 ball out of the infield in this inning and has 3 runs to show for it. Should just be 3-2. Scoreboard says 4. That time Fisher drops one down first base line. She nearly beats that out, but Chappell comes in and scores. So we'll call it a sack bunt. I'm trying to get all these camera angles for you and keep the book and the scoreboard. So Greenwood now has 4 runs. 4-2 our score. 4. And that'll bring the top of the order back up. Chelsea Passage grounded out to short, or lined out basically. Shortstop, the ball caught her. She didn't catch the ball. Passage takes strike 1. So 1 out in the inning. 4 runs across for Greenwood here in the bottom half of the second. An important run over there at third, and Haven Clements. Passage lifts one to left. It's not going to carry out, but it will do the damage as Haven Clements will tag, and she will score. So that's a sac fly. And that'll bring Haven Clements in, and Greenwood adds another run. So 5 runs now in for the Lady Bulldogs. And Ali Saki, senior shortstop, grounded out to third, her first at bat, and a bang-bang play at first. Stocky reaches, hits it to third again. She'll rally across, and the Bulldogs are able to plate 5. Stocky is thrown out at first for the second consecutive at-bat. We'll go to the top of the third. Greenwood 5, Marion 2, 5 runners across. So Saki is grounded out 5-3 in consecutive at-bats. Just getting out in front of it, and Tori Howard settles back into the circle for Greenwood. So a lot of action there. We're in the top of the third. Dustin Smith bringing into action here, and the cameraman, the scoreboard guy, the live stream operator, answer of the phone calls, and keeping the scorebook and trying to tell you what all's going on. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Baseball's got an opportunity to advance to the semifinals as well. They'll play Batesville at 5:30. Tim Terry and Sean Holland will be over there bringing you that action. While we're here in scenic Mountain Home, top of the third. And this will be Mackenzie Shinneberry. Shinneberry singled to right, her first at bat. Tried to go back that way. Passage scoots to her left and makes the play. So Passage makes that play. 4-3.
The pitcher, number 6, Anna Murphy.
And we have one out. 5-2 our score. Anna Murphy, the left-hander, she swings through that one for strike 1. Sketchy inning, the first inning. For Greenwood, but they have answered back in a big way in the bottom of the second. They scored 5, taking a 5-2 lead. Just got an update from Jonesboro. They're running about 30 minutes behind, so if you're playing on the 5:30 broadcast, it may be closer to 6 for the Bulldog baseball team against Batesville. So Murphy has fouled that off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peggy Barger just texted me and said she'd have known I could have brought her camera and taken some pictures. That ball's fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes still. Greenwood bottom of the second. They sent 8 batters to the plate. Scored 5 runs. Murphy here in a battle. Change up from Howard. Taylor will pop out of the box. Throw over to first, and it's 2-3 as you're scoring at home. And even if you're not. That's 2 outs here in the top of the third for Marion. And Kelsey Baker, the second baseman, will dig in for Marion. She singled her first at bat right back up the middle. Lifts this one to the screen for strike 1. So Howard came in the first, induced an ending double play, and has gone the rest of the way. She throws the changeup in there, but it's high and outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Marion trailing 5-2. That ball lifted. Tori Howard will come off the circle, and she'll make the play. So that'll end the inning, and the threat for Marion. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Greenwood with a 5-2 advantage. It's 3 up, 3 down. First time that's happened. First time that's happened today for Marion. And we'll head to the bottom of the third. 5-2 our score. And it's a train wreck. Harley Terry here just going to go throw in some ideas of her own. We're good now. We got things going. Old TT will be proud. The Boog came down and offered. Fifth-year senior, super senior.
I just wanted to make it
Just
proficient live for all the fans.
we're just trying to make sure people back home get the action. And Harley Terry took it upon herself to come down and give me some advice, as if that last name,
Step to third baseman, number 11,
entitles her
Cartwright.
to give some advice. So here we are, bottom of the third. Greenwood with a 5-2 advantage, and Maddie Cartwright, who reached on an error her first at bat and then was caught stealing. She slid past the bag. She swings this one right towards third. She moves to her left, fires over to first in time, and that's out number one. So you see,
Number 9, Natalie Thomas.
I'm trying to get all the pictures for you and at least tell you if I can't give you the picture. And that'll bring Natalie Thomas to the plate. So Natalie Thomas got things going. Infield single, her first at bat. She rips this one down the line, and they'll get to the fence. So Thomas will get extra bases. She's at second as that ball, excuse me, 2 hops the fence. And Natalie Thomas is 2 for 2. So this brings Charlie Taylor to the plate, and Taylor got on via the bunt, her first at bat.
The catcher, number 17, Charlie Taylor.
So the runner on second base here. And that's in there for strike one. So Taylor watches strike one there. A lot of action in the bottom of the second. And here we are as Thomas rips one with one out down the line. She stands at second, and Charlie Taylor digs in. And that's a fly out to center. And that'll bring Macy Cutsinger to the plate. 2 outs, 1 on,
Center fielder, number
as Natalie Thomas stands out at second, and Macy Cutsinger, who singled through the right side, her last at bat, would like nothing more than to add another run to the scoreboard. Find a little outfield turf towards right center. Her approach lately has been really good, taking the ball the other way. As Cutsinger digs in, Murphy fires. She goes to the right side, goes right to the second baseman. She's up and with it and over to first. So that'll retire the Greenwood side. So a 1-out double is all that was doing for Greenwood there in the bottom of the third. We'll head to the top of the fourth. Greenwood 5, Marion 2. Here from Mountain Home. Again, the winner of this ball game will play tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. The other semifinal is already set. Benton and Greene County Tech will play at noon, weather permitting. Supposed to be some weather come through maybe tomorrow about noon. So we'll see what things look like tomorrow. But right now, some clouds building in from the west. But you can't ask for a little better setup than what we have here. Greenwood, especially on the scoreboard now, 5-2, looked a little glim early. Greenwood pushed 5 across in the bottom of the second. Tori Howard has come in relief of Haven. Haven is still batted. And Kelsey Epps, the right fielder, will lead off the top of the fourth for Marion. We're progressing along here. Epps is the right fielder. She walked her first at bat.
top of the fourth, the right fielder, number 10.
And that was the last batter that Haven Clements faced. I want to thank all our sponsors for bringing us this action or allowing us to. That ball looked good to a lot of people, but the only one that matters is Home Plate Blue, and he said that was outside for ball one. Howard fires again. That ball fouled off. Strike one. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Howard is coming in relief here, and the moment has not been too big for the freshman. Of course, she's no stranger to the circles. She's been the game 2 doubleheader starter. That ball up and outside for ball 2. She's been the game 2 starter for most of the year in conference play for Greenwood. She kicks and fires here, fires it right past Epps. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Epps plays right field for Marion. Lifts this one. Charlie Taylor comes set and makes the catch. And that's out number 1.
Left fielder.
So
Bailey.
1 out now. Tina Bailey will step into the plate. Bailey grounded into a double play right at Ali Saki, her first at-bat. Got Greenwood out of a very long first inning. That ball's over but low for ball 1. So Bailey hit it right too short. Allie stepped on second herself, threw it over to first, and in time, that ball lifted right towards short. It's a line out to 6 if you're scoring at home, so that's out number 2, and Greenwood quickly with 2 outs here defensively against Marion in the top of the 4th. That'll bring Brianna Marquecho to the plate. She's a shortstop, struck out her first plate appearance. That was against Howard to start the 2nd. She squares to bunt, fouls that one off for strike 1. So the corner's got to come charging. Natalie Thomas stays back. Howard's going to slide over and cover the first baseline in the event the bunt gets down. Swings, goes right back to Howard. She snags it with the right hand. Her left hand, right back up the middle, and she turns and fires it over for the out. And that'll retire the side. 1-3. That ends the 4th and the threat for Marion, and we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Greenwood with a 5-2 advantage. So after first 2 innings, Marion sent 10 players to the plate. The last 2, they've only had 6, and that's all they get. 3 per inning, and Tori Howard has come in and done a masterful job in the circle in relief of Haven Clements. And Greenwood has been able to find some offense. Yesterday, that was a question mark. Little different pitcher. Greenwood not able to, just had too many fly balls, really. Pop-ups and caused some problems offensively, but able to get enough. And as they say this time of the year, you just survive and advance. And Greenwood was able to do that. So, I hear you, Coach Gill. Sent me a text, said pick one and do it. Well, there ain't just one to do here, brother. There's a lot of mess going on, and we're fighting through it. We'll figure it out, and hopefully it's a little smoother sailing. Claire Chappell reached on an error her first at bat as the catcher threw it into right field. Bottom of the 4th, Greenwood up 5-2. Chappell lines one towards the bullpen and Marion for strike 1. Chappell digs back in. Murphy gets the sign and swings the left arm. That one's in there for strike 2. Came with a changeup there. And now Chappell's got a battle. She's down 0-2. She stays alive as she flares that one down the right field line, back into the bullpen, and the player who just came out of the bullpen chasing down the first foul ball will go back and pick that one up. So Chappell's just a little behind it, flaring it towards the right field. Murphy may come back with that changeup here. She does not. Chappell grounds it right to second. And she's retired 4-3 on the play. That'll bring Haven Clements to the plate. Clements
Haven Clements.
got on via her first at bat, and she came around and scored. She digs in here, scored one of the 5 consecutive runs. Greenwood was able to score. She lines this one towards right, and that'll find outfield grass. So Haven gets that one dropped. Single to right for Haven, and that's got to feel good for her, especially knowing that she wanted to do more in the circle to start. Tori Howard has picked her up, and Haven hasn't let the pitching affect her bat. She reaches there on the single, and that'll bring Kinley Fisher to the plate. Fisher had a sac bunt her first at bat. Nearly beat it out down the line. And Fish doesn't know what the sign is for Coach Saki. She gets a little consulting fee from Chelsea Passage there. And we're ready to go. After the short on-deck visit, here goes Fisher. One out here, one on, bottom of the 4th. Fisher squares, goes through that one for strike 1. So we'll see if it's the same thing. Fisher, the senior left fielder, all-time leading scorer in basketball for the Lady Bulldogs. She'll dig in here and see if she's got the bunt sign again. Talk about a second leadoff, and that's generally what this is. Fisher swings right down the line. First baseman snags it, knocks it down, and she'll step on first, but that'll move Haven up to second base. So 2 outs.
The second baseman.
And that'll bring Chelsea Passage to the plate. So Haven's at second. Chelsea Passage will come to the plate. Passage has hit the ball squarely twice. Flew out to center of the sacrifice fly in the second. Fouls this one off for strike 1. And I hear her father behind me telling pitch selection. Make sure it's the right pitch. And that ball smoked again, but right at the second baseman. So hard luck at bats there for Passage in this one. She lines out the second here, and that'll end the 4th. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Greenwood with a 5-0 advantage, or 5-2 advantage, I'm sorry. We'll go to the top of the 5th. And scheduled to bat for Marion will be Holder, Couples, and Miller. Miller's the leadoff. She got things started in this ball game. And now, here we are, top of the 5th. Things have settled out a little better. And I appreciate you, Mr. Pierbolt, saying that you've got me. Gil was wrong. We need to point that out a little more often. We'll see if we can get a little Harry Carey channeled for you here. The Cubs have been terrible here in the 2021 campaign, so I don't have a whole lot to brag on there. But they were terrible when Harry was broadcasting, so maybe that's what you mean, Pierbolt. We'll see what can happen. Here we are, top of the 5th. Greenwood 5, Marion 2. The winner advances to the semifinals tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. Holder will step in. She'll take the first pitch for ball 1. Tori has lived out there on that corner. She's trying to stretch and see how far the umpire will let her go, and that was too far out for ball 1. That ball lifted a ton, but it'll be foul. That's just a long strike. Loud strike, as they say. She got way ahead of that one and yanked it down the line, foul. It's no harm done. if you're Tori Howard. She comes back. It's right down the pipe for strike 2. Not a lot phases Tori Howard. She's just going to pump the zone ball after ball. It doesn't matter if that ball was hit 500 feet. That ball high, but really enticing. We'll see if I can get you a better picture. So you can see what's actually going on at the plate. That ball fisted, but it's foul, and Cartwright will make the play in the coach's box. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter here in the bottom or top of the 5th. J.C. Holder, the catcher. She flew out to center, her only at bat. Howard kicks, fires. That ball hit again a ton. Whoever's chasing foul balls has got a little work cut out for him because there ain't a short route to get to that ball. You have to go out and around. So Holder with a 1-2 count battling here. Howard kicks and fires. That ball fouled straight back off the screen and right back in play. So Howard just keeps on keeping on. Two balls, 2 strikes. Good battle here at the plate. Holder and Howard, and that one's down low for ball 3. Excuse me, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Howard kicks. That ball fouled straight back again. And if you're at the Women's College World Series, you don't catch the ball off the screen, they give you a little boo. Charlie Taylor not able to snag that one. She looks right back into the sun in her defense. Change up, that ball fouled. And good battle here. It's a good battle for Holder, good job for Howard. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Been a very long at-bat here. Holder just keeps holding her own. Howard kicks and fires. That ball lifted. It's going to be in play. Charlie Taylor makes the catch. Just out of your screen. There was really no angle I could get where you would see that. And now 28. Claire Hall will bat for number 2, who was Micah Couples.
28, Claire Hall.
First pitch is ball 1. We got 1 out here. In the top of the 5th. That ball's in for ball 2. Just a little bit inside. Howard kicks and fires. They're saying that's ball 3. And that's been a spot that Howard's been living in. Apparently Home Plate Blue not agreeing. I'm going to say that's ball 4 outside. So Claire Hall walks. And Marion has their first base runner they've had since the 2nd inning. So 28's reinserted.
Courtesy runner, number 2.
I mean, for number 2. Number 2's reinserted as the runner. So that turns the lineup over. Emerson Miller. She's the 3rd baseman, scored the first run of the ball game. She bats here with 1 out and 1 on here in the top of the 5th. Little gamesmanship here. Coach Saki asking if that was reported. The reinsertion of Couples into the lineup. So Charlie Taylor needs to be ready. Looks like Couples will be ready to run. Howard gets the signal. She kicks and fires. That ball's outside for ball one. One ball, no strikes. One out here, and Marion's top of the fifth. That ball is a changeup outside for ball two. Tori's dancing around the strike zone here, and Ali Saki, the senior captain, will come in and pat her on the shoulder and say, let's find the zone. Marion with one on. Howard kicks and fires. That ball flared down the right field line. It will get out of play or drop in foul territory for strike one. The approach was just trying to go the other way. Claire Chappell will move over towards the right field line. Cutzinger straight away in center. And Kenley Fisher crowding the line and left. I'm going to say that ball was outside for ball three. So there's a lot of commentary coming from over my shoulder, telling the umpire where that ball was. Just kind of shakes his head, and that ball's low for ball four, so back-to-back walks. And now runners at first and second, one out here. Top of the fifth. Let's bring Anna Murphy, the pitcher. No, Shinneberry, I'm sorry. Shinneberry will step in. She singled, scored a run, and grounded out to second in her two at-bats. Conference on the mound or in the circle for Greenwood. And looked like Coach Saki on the field. Allie was doing the talking there and was kind of instructed. Message, we'll see if it was sent. Shinneberry at the plate. Howard kicks and fires. That ball lifted. Passage blocks the sun. It's infield fly. She flies out to Passage for the second out. So whatever Saki said, she may need to do it between every pitch. She gets a fly out there, and that'll bring Anna Murphy to the plate. Shinneberry flies out to second. Infield fly was in effect. Murphy grounds to Passage. She picks it up, fires over to first, and that'll end the inning in the threat. So Passage got busy. And Marion unable to push any across. They end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Greenwood 5, Marion 2. Scheduled batters for Greenwood will be Saki, Cartwright, and Thomas in the bottom of the fifth. Appreciate you joining us on the live stream. Thank you to all our sponsors. I know the Ronald Reagan Realty is a huge sponsor of ours, and I would go down the line and announce all of them, but I know my boy Ty Adams. I don't know if he's listening in Jonesboro or not, but appreciate you joining us. Thank you for your patience as we've tried to man this as a solo show in Greenwood. The good news is Greenwood's up 5-2. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Another game of our doubleheader just in another town. The Greenwood baseball team will be playing today sometime between 5:30 and 6. They play Batesville. The senior Reed Carroll for Greenwood will be on the mound. We'll see what happens over in Jonesboro. Hopefully good things. Tim Terry and Sean Holland will bring you that action. We got a little bit of work to do here. Greenwood 5-2 leading this one. And Ali Saki, the senior shortstop, will lead off the bottom of the fifth. Saki is grounded out to third both of her trips to the plate. And she is about due for a hit of epic proportions. She watches that one over but low for ball one. Saki has made the third baseman work both times and nearly beat out the throws to first. First one, she said she was safe. First base Blue did not agree. She loaded up and tried to make that a 6-2 ball game. She comes up empty there for strike one. So Allie digs in a 1-1 count here. Coach Elmore peers in from first base coach's box. Saki ready to face Murphy. That ball up for ball two. I was talking to Ronnie yesterday and told him that Allie's like that thoroughbred. You just got to keep the reins on her because she's ready to go the whole time. And when you face a pitcher that we faced yesterday, Saki again to the third baseman, equal to the tap. No, she bobbled it. Wish I could have switched over there quick enough for you, but finally the call went Allie's way. She hit the third, third baseman, threw it into the dirt.
The third baseman, number 11.
And that'll be an E5. But Saki is on, leadoff batter on, and Maddie Cartwright will be at the plate for Greenwood. So Cartwright reached on an error and grounded out to short. Fakes the bunt. It's over for a strike one. With Maddie Cartwright, don't see the bunt very often. Tim Terry calls it the franchise. I talked to her this morning, and she looked like she wasn't awake. Hopefully that bat gets going here. Swings through that one, and it's fouled off the screen for strike two. Her uncle does. Maddie's uncle gives her money for every home run, and I bet he'd be glad to pay up right here if she was to hit one. Here in the bottom of the fifth. 5-2 our score. Cartwright watches that one up for ball one. Good discipline there from the sophomore not to chase a ball. That ball looks enticing as it's floating in there up. Cartwright lays off of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Saki over at first. No outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Cartwright watches that one. Saki swipes second. The ball goes into second. And Saki is safe. Ball 2. And now Cartwright has a runner in scoring position. She getting any money for that or just home runs? Just home runs. Man, we may need to talk to her uncle. Negotiate a little better in that deal. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner over at second. Cartwright digs in. Swings and lines one to left. Is it going to get out? No, it's off the wall. Saki comes around and scores. As Cartwright tattoos one to left. And in Alma, that was a line shot. And Cartwright gets in and drives in a run. She just changes bases with Saki there. Greenwood now 6-2, still nobody out. Natalie Thomas at the plate. Fakes the bunt, and that ball they say is up for ball one. One ball, no strikes. Natalie has singled and doubled, and she swings through that one for strike one. Natalie has brought her bat today, singled and doubled, and I'm going to make a phone call to Maddie's uncle because that ball was absolutely tattooed off the wall. He's about 4 foot shy of being a homer. That was a ball 2. To Natalie Thomas. So Greenwood has one across, one standing out there at second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. 6-2 our score. Marion had the first 2, and Greenwood's come back with 6 unanswered. Thomas slaps one towards first base dugout. That'll be strike 2. Cartwright standing out there at second. Absolutely tattooed ball off the wall to drive in Saki. Thomas trying to trade places with her here. That ball up and out for ball 3, so good job there by that's ball 2, I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 balls, 2 strikes should be the count. Natalie Thomas digs in. That ball's in the dirt, and Thomas will walk. So Natalie Thomas has been a nuisance for Marion on the base path, as she has been on all 3 times. This time she walked, she's doubled and singled. And that'll bring Charlie Taylor to the plate. Taylor had a bunt single in the second, flew out to center in the third, and now she bats here with 2 on and nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. She squares to bunt. Cartwright will steal third. She moves to third on the stolen base. Strike 1 there for Charlie Taylor. And the shortstop nearly didn't get there in time. That ball about ended up in left field. So Charlie Taylor, 0-1 count. Runner now 60 feet away. That's Maddie Cartwright. Natalie Thomas over on second. Taylor bunts. It's hits in fair territory, but bounces back foul because of the spin, and that's strike 2. So now Coach Saki preaching what he preached yesterday, find the top half. Yesterday we were underneath the ball. Flew out a lot more than we have today. Excuse me. Charlie Taylor now in a battle. Down 0-2. Watches that one. It's up and out for ball 1. And that may be the catcher for Marion just firing it back quick. Charlie, the 1-2 count here. BB and Mountain Home will be the game after us. Taylor rips one to third. She throws home. Cartwright was dead to rights, but throws it right past the catcher. And now Cartwright will score, and Charlie Taylor advances to second. So it worked out really well for Greenwood. Cartwright kind of stuck in no man's land. The third baseman fired home. So Cartwright scores. Thomas ends up over on third, and Charlie Taylor is at second via the fielder's choice and error. That'll bring Macy Cutzinger to the plate. That ball, they're going to say strike 1. And the Greenwood faithful say she's short and that was high. Home plate blues said that's a strike. He ain't bothering to look at it. Runners at second and third, nobody out. 7-2 our score. Greenwood has played a 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. That ball's outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cutzinger is singled to right, scored a run, and grounded out to second. Murphy has gone the whole way in the circle for Marion. Greenwood has figured her out after that first inning. That ball up for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Greenwood with the runners at second and third. Charlie Taylor out at second. Natalie Thomas at third. Cutzinger at the plate. Nobody out. 2-1 the count. That ball's low for ball 3. So 3-1. Saki goes through a plethora of signs down in the third base coach's box. Then barks out signals to Charlie Taylor standing out at second. Thomas stands at third. Cutsinger to the right side. It'll get through. One will score. Charlie Taylor's coming in. There won't be a throw to the plate. Yeah, there is. Charlie Taylor will score. Cutsinger will advance to second as the ball's thrown around the yard a little bit. And Greenwood will score 2 more on a base hit from Macy Cutsinger to right field. So Cutsinger drives in 2. And Greenwood will plate 2 more, and all of a sudden the Bulldogs lead 9-2. And nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. And a meeting at the mound for Marion. Crooked numbers, you like to see those. 5 in the second, 4 here in the bottom of the 5th, and Greenwood out to a 9-2 advantage. Still nobody out. Claire Chappell will bat. And Chappell has reached on an error and grounded out to second in her 2 at-bats. Marion's coaches have broken up the discussion at home play or the circle. That'll bring Claire Chappell to the plate. Greenwood ahead 9-2 here and looking for more. 14's in there. She's an important run. Well, the next 3 are important. 10 after 2, or 10 after 5, I'm sorry. Claire looks at the first one for strike 1. 9-2, Greenwood with 4 here in the 5th, 5 in the second. After trailing 2-0 through a half inning. Claire tattoos one right back to the pitcher. And she's retired. It's one of those, I've said before, I don't know if she caught it or the ball caught her. But either way, Murphy, good thing she had that ball or glove on her right hand. And that's the first out. Haven Clements will step in. She swings. It goes right under Murphy's glove this time. She's going to try to beat it out at first. And they're saying she's out. Cutsinger advances to third.
The left fielder, 0, Kinley Fisher.
So that brings Cutsinger to third. 2 outs here on that bang-bang play at first. Murphy couldn't get her glove on it, went through her, and the second baseman was able to pick it up and throw it over to first. So now Kinley Fisher, senior left fielder. She'll watch that one for strike 1. 9-2 our score. Cutsinger stands at third. Fisher, the 7th batter of this inning for the Lady Bulldogs. That ball hit squarely to the first baseman, and she'll make the play unassisted. So 3-U, and that'll end the Lady Bulldogs' 5th inning. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Greenwood does damage. 5 runs in the second, 4 here in the 5th. Greenwood out to a 9-2 advantage here. And looking to get to semifinal Saturday. We head to the top of the 6th. Tori Howard is coming to the circle, and she filled in from Haven Clements, who had difficulty finding the strike zone early. But Tori Howard, the freshman, has settled in and has done some work in that circle for the Lady Bulldogs. Haven Clements has done work with the bat. And we're in the top of the 6th. Top of the 1st, Marion was cruising. 2-0 was their score, and they had runners on first and second. Pitch and change was made, and Howard induced and double play. Saki stabbed it, stepped on second, fired to first. And from that point on, Greenwood has been locked in. And that brings us to the top of the 6th. Kelsey Baker, she's the 4-hole hitter. She singled to center, and she's flown out to the pitcher in her 2 at-bats. That's in there for strike number 1. Howard, the freshman, gets the signal, fires the right arm through. It's changeup. It's in the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Baker plays second base for Marion. They're 22-9 on the year. That ball's hit right at short. Sunday hop, throw over to first, and that's in time. 6-3 on that put out. You just have to trust me on that.
The right fielder, number 10, Kelsey Epps.
And that'll bring Kelsey Epps, the right fielder, to the plate. She hits one and finds outfield grass. Down in left field, a single to left. And Epps reaches. That'll bring Kendall Bailey to the plate. Bailey's the left fielder. Epps has been on twice. Single, a walk, and she's flown out to the catcher. Bailey fouls that first pitch off for strike 1. So got my camera crew on standby for when this one's over. Go tear down cameras, and hopefully we're bringing you action tomorrow on that strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. No, it's all Passage. He can't get here before the game. He's got to do it after. That ball lifted towards right. Claire Chappell over to make the play. Fires back to first, but not in time. Good play there from Chappell to track that one down and retire Bailey for the second out. So now Brianna Marquecho will be pinch hit for. 19 comes in for her. That's Anna Hitchman.
Brings in number 19, Anna Hitchman.
Hitchman's a freshman. Swings at the first pitch. She lifts it towards second. Passage will make the play. 1 pitch, 1 out there. And that'll end the 6th. Greenwood now 3 defensive outs away from advancing to semifinal Saturday. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Greenwood 9, Marion 2. Appreciate you joining us here on the live stream. Just got an update. Baseball is going to be a little bit later than the 5:30 start time that they were scheduled. We knew that coming in, but it may be closer to 6:30 now. I got word that they were running an hour behind earlier because the umpires for the first game got caught in traffic and construction. So they were delayed over there in Jonesboro. So it may be closer to 6:30 first pitch for the Greenwood Bulldogs. I'd tune in about 6:15 and see, or 6 and see. Or if you have questions, old TT's the Twitter man. Follow him on social media and you can get some updates from over there in Jonesboro. Here we are in the bottom of the 6th. Greenwood 9, Marion 2. 2 innings have been the bugaboo for Marion as Greenwood's played at 9 in those 2. Chelsea Passage, who's been just a hard luck at bats this day, as she's hit the ball on the screws all 3 times, but right at Marion defenders. She hadn't been on base yet. Has driven in a run. That ball's up for ball 1. Passage 1-0. Senior second baseman headed to the University of Arkansas, as is her infield teammate, Allie Saki, and that ball's in there for strike 1. Passage still wants to do a little damage here, state tournament. She ain't worried about the Razorbacks yet. 1-1 our count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Murphy's gone the distance. That ball is inside for strike 2. Now Chelsea has to battle. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I don't think Chelsea agreed with that call, but got to clear the mechanism, as they say, and for love of the game, and clear the slate and get up there and hit. Appreciate Mr. Eric Goodwin tuning in. Goodwin Trucking. Needs some dirt. Needs some dirt moved. Call my good buddy Eric Goodwin. He'll help you out. He's tuned in back there in the wood. Good things for Greenwood here. 9-2, bottom of the sixth. Postage is the leadoff hitter. That ball floated in there for ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Postage is even the count. Telling you, she has hit it squarely twice. And does so again. This time we'll find outfield grass and a single back up the middle. It's only fitting that she does that because she has deserved at least 2 more hits. She just squarely hit it right at Marion defenders. This time she put it where they weren't. That'll bring Allie Saki to the plate. Saki's reached on an error and scored and grounded out to third all 3 times. Hit it to third all 3 times. Squares to bunt. Postage will steal second. She gets hit with the ball in her left shoulder, and she goes back down. Coach Saki will check out on her. And I'm pretty sure it's going to take a whole lot more than that. A whole lot more than that to get her out of this game. She just wore that. Fielder didn't catch it. Just hit Postage in the shoulder, it looked like. Postage has cleared the cobwebs, and she's ready to go. Saki got ball 1. She squares the bat, watches it, and it's strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Saki just trying to get a look at it. Watch the ball a little longer, and grandmother said, don't overswing. Be patient. She swings that time, and it may be in no man's land. Good effort there, and that's going to be hit in fair territory. It's going to go off her glove, and Saki will get to second. We'll give that a double. And now runners at second and third with nobody out. And that'll bring Maddie Cartwright to the plate. So Saki didn't hit it hard, but she hit it where she needed it to. Postage had to wait and make sure the ball wasn't caught. She advances to third. Saki running out of the gate. She ends up on second, and Maddie Cartwright at the plate. Cartwright doubled, and this one's lifted straight away center. They got enough? Not enough. Gets to the warning track. That'll score a run as Postage comes in. Saki will tag up and go to third, and Greenwood adds another run. It's a good piece of hitting there by Maddie Cartwright. Sac fly to center, and that was nearly a home run there. But it does the job. Scores a run. Greenwood now leads 10-2. Natalie Thomas hits one right back up the middle, and she'll knock in Allie Saki, so another run scores. 11-2 for Greenwood. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. And Natalie Thomas has been on fire today. They have yet to retire her. She singles right back up the middle there. She's doubled, singled twice, and walked. And now Abby Summit, AJ Summit, will be the courtesy runner for Natalie Thomas over at first, and Charlie Taylor will bat with 1 out. Taylor's reached on a fielder's choice, a bunt single, and flew out to center in her 3 plate appearances. That run over there in Summit, if they can put her in, will end this ball game. That ball straight down the middle for strike 1. Jamal the Barber's got us tuned in back there in the wood. 11-2 our score. Taylor watches that one. It floats over, but it's a ball for ball 1. Greenwood just needs one more. Marion was cruising in the top of the first. Looked like it was going to be their night. And Greenwood has answered in a big way. Taylor will push one down the right field line. Just foul for strike two. And that was almost picture perfect like what Saki had down the left field line. But it falls harmlessly foul, and Taylor will jump back in with 2 outs, or 2 strikes here. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The game-winning run would be over there at first base if somehow Greenwood could plate her. Taylor watches that one for ball 2. Very disciplined at the plate is Charlie Taylor. Seasoned sophomore, utility player, can play about anywhere. She's been manning the catching duties of late. 2 balls, 2 strikes. She swings this one to right at Epps. Knocks it down, but she can't corral it. And Summit was kind of caught in no man's land. So she had to go back to first, but because she thought the ball was caught, but the right fielder dropped it. So by the time she got back moving, the right fielder was able to throw it over to second base and get Summit with a force out. So Macy Cutzinger, 2 for 3 on the day, 2 singles to right, and she grounded out to second in her 2 plate appearances. She's also scored 1. Watches that ball up and in for ball 1. Charlie Taylor stands over there at second. A.J. Summit just kind of caught in between. Thought the catch was made, so she was darting back to first. The ball was dropped. So she hit the brakes and headed back towards second, but the right fielder was able to throw her out. Cutzinger watches that pitch for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Cutzinger lifts one past the first baseman. It's going to be a fair ball. Taylor will get over to third. They're going to rave her home. Play at the plate, and she's going to be out. Saki tried to end the game right there. Tried to score Charlie Taylor from first, but unable to do so. So Cutzinger had a single there, and Taylor is thrown out at home to end the bottom of the 6th. So we'll head to the 7th. Greenwood with an 11-2 lead and 3 defensive outs away from a semifinal date with either BB or Mountain Home. Could it be a 5A West matchup in the semifinals? Greenwood certainly hoping so. Mountain Home certainly hoping so. You want to host this tournament, you want to do so with a chance to play as long as you can, and Saturdays as long as you can play here. And the winner of the 2 games tomorrow will play in Benton. And that date and time has not been determined yet. It's all dependent upon who qualifies and when graduations are. But here we are, top of the 7th inning. Greenwood 11, Marion 2. It was a 2-0 game to start through a half inning, and Marion was really threatening more. And the scheduled batters are Holder, that'll be Claire Hall, and Emerson Miller, the 3 scheduled for Marion here. Strike 1 from Tori Howard to begin the top of the 7th. Holder gotten a long at-bat with Howard there, and that ball is a changeup, and saying that one's outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Holder is flown out to center and popped up to the catcher. That ball outside for ball 2. Two balls and a strike. Greenwood 3 defensive outs away from playing tomorrow afternoon. That ball fisted right over the first base line. It finds fair ground. Kinley Fisher will track it down and hold Holder to a single. Coach Sarkey, drill sergeant over there, saying don't let up. You couldn't have placed that ball any better. This will bring Claire Hall into the bat. Hall came in and couples will be removed. So Hall is the freshman. She walked in her only plate appearance. So Marion with a runner over at first. Howard will swing the right arm through. That ball's fouled off to the right side for strike one. Scoff plays first base, but she does not bat. That ball blistered to the left center gap, and it'll find the outfield turf. Cutsinger over to cut it off. Marion does not get a runner in, gets it to third. Now runners at the corners, nobody out. So Greenwood just needs 3 outs. Emerson Miller, the top of the lineup for Marion, will get into the box. 22 will run, and that is Lauren Manis, a junior. She's at first. Marion's got a runner at third. Nobody out here. There's something cooking here in the top of the 7th. A lot of cooking needs to be done for Marion here, but with nobody out, this is the start you want. Howard fires that first pitch in. It's fouled off for strike one. So Miller has walked twice. She got up there not looking to walk. She was swinging. Swung her bat there, fouled it out of play to the right side. Howard fires that one in there for strike two. Greenwood faithful just yelling, we need outs. Just get outs. It doesn't matter how you get them. Defensively, just need 3. That ball fouled back. And Miller stays alive. Nearly hit the GoPro sitting back there. Saw some flinching from the faithful right behind home plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Miller in an 0-2 hole here. Howard comes, throws a rise ball there, and it's a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Force play still in effect. That ball lifted and hit a ton. That one's going to get out of here. Fisher back as far as she could go, and that's a 3-run homer. A 3-run home run from Emerson Miller, and Marion's not going to go away quietly. So they plate 3 here, still nobody out. And the score is 11-5. So the long ball went the way of Emerson Miller there. She got around on it. And the leadoff hitter, talking to Marion's broadcast guy, and he said she's a junior and really coming into her home. That ball's flown to right. Claire Chappell not able to get there, and that finds the outfield grass and right. So Shinneberry lifts one down the right field line. And Marion has them on, still nobody out. Coach Saki will trot out to the mound and have a little visit. Try to get Tori locked back in here. And Anna Murphy, the pitcher, will come into the bat. Murphy is 0 for 3. She's grounded out to second twice, and Charlie Taylor threw her out at first once herself. So Marion with some business here. Already put 3 across here. 11-5 our score. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. 1 on for Marion. Howard swings the right arm through. That ball lifted towards left. Fisher is stationed there, and that'll be out number 1. So Fisher makes the play there. It's a loud out, but an out nonetheless, and F7. And Shinneberry stays over at first base. That'll bring Kelsey Baker to the plate, the second baseman. 1 for 3. That ball over but low for ball 1. One out here, top of the 7th. Howard floats the changeup there. Beautiful pitch. Pulled the string on it. 1 ball, 1 strike as Baker swings through it. Top of the 7th, 11-5 our score. That ball's on the outside corner, and everybody asking where that's at. Umpire saying it's outside. 2 balls and a strike. Steer Howard just pumped the zone. Swings through that one. The changeup there for strike 2. Been a great pitch for Torrey Howard. 1 strike away from getting 2 outs on the board. Kicks and fires. That one's high for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Baker's worked the count full. Marion not going away quietly here in the top of the 7th. Swings. That one hit right to Cartwright. She'll fire to second. Throw to first. It's not in time, but they get the runner at second base. So 2 outs. So she grounds out into a fielder's choice.
Number 10, Kelsey Epps.
And that'll bring Epps to the plate. Epps is been on twice. She swings at the first pitch. It's off her foot. Foul. Strike 1. Marion down to their last out. She kicks and fires. That one fouled back out of play over the press box. Strike 2, and now Greenwood 1 defensive strike away from advancing to Saturday. Howard came in relief in the first inning. Comes in here, no balls, 2 strikes. That ball hit right towards short. Short hops Ali Saki and will scoot past her, and Marion stays alive. So Epps hits it.
Left fielder. For left,
Too short.
Kendall Bailey.
Saki tried to get it on the short hop, but to no avail. So Marion with 2 on now, 2 outs, trailing by 6, and this will bring Kendall Bailey, the left fielder, to the plate. Howard kicks and fires. That ball hit right at short. Saki will make the play, and that'll be the ball game. Greenwood has advanced to tomorrow afternoon's 2:30 ball game, semifinals of the 5A state tournament. 11-5, the final here. Wasn't the prettiest, and it was definitely eventful, but Greenwood comes away with a win. They win this one 11-5, and will play tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. The winner of BB and Mountain Home. Survive and advance. Greenwood does it again. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you for your patience as we work through all of these messes. But the most important thing is Greenwood was able to pull off the victory. They win this one 11-5. Programming note, we'll be here tomorrow. 2:30 live stream for sure. Tomorrow we will see what happens with the boys. The boys supposed to be first pitch at 5:30. Keep tabs on that because it could be 6:30 or 7. 6 or 6:30. It'll be right here on Greenwood Sports Center, and it will also be on the radio over there. So tune in, listen to the Bulldogs, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But the final score here, Greenwood 11, Marion 5. We're headed to the semifinals tomorrow afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dustin Smith. Until tomorrow afternoon, we'll see you next time on Greenwood Sports Center.